Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks podcast powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at comed.com/clean. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. I'm Jay Zawoski with Greg Boyson and Mario Tirabassi. And as you can see on your screen, we've got DJ Bean from the What Chaos podcast here with us as well. DJ, thanks for being with us, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
It's always good to have you guys on the show. It helps our credibility. It helps our ratings, and it helps people smash that like button. So get in the habit of doing that. Please do that for us. Subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Same deal on your favorite podcast app. Follow, subscribe, and please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify for us and for What Chaos, and use all your burner accounts to do so. Right? I think I got everything covered then.
Sure.
I'm happy to do this just because I feel like we shouldn't talk about the Blackhawks on our national show as much as we do, but like there's really three teams that excite me. They're all in the West. It's the Oilers, it's the Sharks, and it's the Blackhawks. So I feel less guilt coming on a Blackhawks podcast and talking about Blackhawks the whole time.
Yeah, the funny thing is we don't want to talk about Blackhawks.
I mean, I saw on the intro, I saw you guys showed the like all-star changes, and I was like, who cares? Let's talk about how exciting that one goal was last night.
We should start there for sure.
Yeah, last night followed the script of pretty much every Blackhawks game this year. Connor Bedard does something silly in the first 4 minutes a game, and the rest of the game is hot garbage.
Yeah, but Pete and I had a light argument about this on our show. Like, I like the Blackhawks are trying. There is no sort of sense of like, well, we're going to be bad. We're as bad as we expected we probably would be. I know that they have games in hand, but they're last in the NHL. But there doesn't seem to really be an F this kind of mentality. There's a we're working on something sort of mentality. And I can respect that. I like watching them. I know that they don't have a ton of star power once you get past Bedard. Or I should say developed star power, because they do have guys who are going to be really good. But I'll tell you what, even if Bedard's all they have, no one can shoot the puck like him in the entire league. So I'll still watch just off of one. I mean, if he gets hurt, then we're looking at a very not exciting product.
If he gets hurt, we're ending the podcast. Like, we're just not going to have.
Then you're a full-time all-star rule changes podcast.
I'm knocking on every piece of wood in my closet right now.
Yeah, no, it won't be. Yeah, we're not even speaking that into existence.
We'll just turn this into an anti-Leafs podcast.
Oh,
yeah, sure. There's always a market for that.
Or
those already exist. Those are called Maple Leafs podcasts.
That's a good point. So, all right. So I know you were locked and loaded on the Bedard Bowl last night, and obviously what Connor's been doing has been great this year. There's been so much written, so much said. You saw the highlight itself, but you mentioned some of the other young good players on the team, and I want to get your take, because one guy that's come away. What we do after every game is we allow our chat to choose the 4th star of the game. So we say these are the 3 stars. And then here are 3 Blackhawks we think could be considered to be the 4th star. And when it's not Bedard, it is almost always Alex Vlasic. And I want to get your take on what you thought. And, I'm sure maybe you weren't watching him as closely as you would Bedard, but has he stood out to you in any way, shape, or form yet?
I mean, Vlasic has a pretty unenviable role, I would say, as like being the guy that's tasked with, and there's a lot of guys on the blue line that whether it's Korchinski or whomever else that are kind of tasked with, okay, we have the next wave, like we found our, whether it's a Kane or a Taves replacement, like who's going to be the Duncan Keith replacement, who's going to be the next wave of those great defensemen. And typically, and it's kind of changing in recent years, but typically it takes longer to make a mark in the NHL as a defenseman. You generally look like an asshole the first 3 seasons of your career. So if you have good games, it's extremely promising. So I like a few guys on their blue line. I know that who was it that undressed our guy Wyatt Kaiser?
You gotta be more specific.
Everyone who had the puck.
No, that was it was a vet. I can't think of who it was though.
But I guess I say that to say there are supposed to be bumpy moments for young defensemen. So it's encouraging that the Blackhawks fan base is often encouraged by Vlasic.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's funny. Like we're almost kind of getting into the, not obviously in a completely different stratosphere of player, but we're kind of getting to the point with Alex Vlasic where we kind of were with Duncan Keith. Like, we don't talk about him all that much because he doesn't give us anything to really worry about at the moment. Like, he's doing everything right, like that you would expect from a rookie defenseman. Like, you know, he made a great play defending Connor McDavid last night, and it was kind of just like, yeah, of course, like he can do that, like at this level. Like, it's a weird thing to like have a player at that stage in their career, and we're already just kind of like, yeah, he's fine, like we're not worried at all. Like, we want to either be, I think that what's more fun is either being like sensationally dazzled by a player like Bedard, or like we're pulling our hair over the development of a young player like Lucas Reichel, where Vlasic is just like, well, he's doing what you would expect a young defenseman to do, and he's been fine. So it's just like the attention on him is much different, and I think for a young defenseman, if no one is worried about you, you're doing great. Like,
Not just a young defenseman, a young defenseman who is tasked with, other than Seth Jones, being like the guy back. Like, he's second on the team in ice time.
Yeah.
That's not a sheltered position in which he finds himself. That's a, like, you are going to have to like get shelled at points, even because you're playing with a young team and an inexperienced team and a team that's going to go through a lot of growing pains. So that actually delights me, because I can't think of many fan bases, and I'm doing a thing right now called pandering, but I can't think of many fan bases that would watch a young player in that position where like bad things are probably going to happen when they're out there, just because of it's growing pains. It's everything. I know that he played not a lot. He played what, like 20 NHL games for the season, something like that. Not a lot, right?
Split over 2 seasons. Yeah.
Like various cups of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But there are going to be bad moments, and maybe it's like a lack of other good moments that make fans excited about Vlasic. But I feel good about that, because we did it. It's in the lost. It'll be probably in like the lost episodes of What Chaos. We talked to Vlasic and Kaiser, and they were both awesome dudes, but we had some technical difficulties with how it shook out and everything. We're trying to salvage it. But anyway, like, we came away from it really rooting for both of those guys, because I didn't encounter a person on that team who I thought was dickish.
Yeah. I think they have a lot of good young guys.
My favorite new thing about Alex Vlasic is that he's 6'6", and he's not even the tallest guy on his defensive pair anymore.
Wow.
Because Louis Crevier, they just called up, is 6'8". That is 14 feet of defenseman on that pairing right now. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Sheesh. Wild.
All right, well, that's enough Blackhawks. We're tired
Yes.
of them. We do want to. Has the NHL here, with these rule changes, and we'll go over them here in a second, to the All-Star weekend, have they done something cool and good?
I don't know, because so I don't care about the All-Star game at all, and I'm a authenticity-tatious guy. Like, if I don't know something, I won't pretend to know it, and if I don't like something, I won't pretend to like it. That sounds like a real world intro. I don't mean to do that, to be like, ugh, I'm going to tell it like it is. But like, generally, if the NHL is trying to market to hockey fans that don't care about the All-Star game, I am like patient zero, because I love the NHL and I never care about the All-Star game. I never care about the skills challenge. I never care about even I'll tell you what, I didn't care that much about the fantasy draft and any of that stuff. Here's what's piqued my interest: that it's for $1 million. And I said this today, no matter how much money people have, or what $1 million means with inflation or taxes or whatever, there's something about $1 million that is so exciting. We ended up having a conversation today on the show saying they should replace the Stanley Cup with $1 million. Imagine the commercials where they were
cash prize.
They were like, "Ooh, it's the Knights and the Panthers playing for $1 million," and you wouldn't know, like, $1 million each. Are they splitting it? Whatever. $1 million is shiny as hell. So I would not have been interested in any of this. Then I heard $1 million, and I was like, all right. And some of these young guys, like Bedard, probably doesn't make $1 million, right?
No.
He's probably at 9 what, like
950.
25?
Well, he's
Yeah.
950 is the rookie max, and then he's also got a ton of bonuses, which I think, without looking at it, I would imagine he's on track to hit a couple of them. So I think what the maximum of his bonuses each year is like 4.5 million if he were to hit all of them, which I don't think he's gonna hit all of them, but he'll hit some of them. So I'm sure this year, plus endorsements, he's gonna make over $1 million.
And he probably makes more because the NHL rigged him to go
Right.
to Chicago. So they were like, while we're spending money.
Yeah, they're letting us circumvent the cap and pay him $10 million under the table because the league
that would
does
rock.
everything for the Blackhawks.
That would, yeah. I hear you guys are getting Otani.
Yeah. Hawks are getting Otani.
In 12 years when he's a free agent again.
But he's going to play goalie and forward.
Oh,
yeah.
That'd be the best.
At the same time.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I think, the motivation with the million is, and I hate All-Star Game discourse. I worked in general sports radio for 23 years, and every time the All-Star Game rolls around, is this boring? How can they fix it? I get so tired of it. But the problem with the NHL is every player is too cool for the All-Star Game. Every player is too cool for the skills competition. They can't show any individuality. They feel like if they do, they'll get made fun of. So everyone is not bought in. So you're literally paying for say, fine. Can you give a shit for 2 hours? And if you do, we'll give you $1 million. And I think that aside with, the actual changes, and I'll just run through them real quick here because everybody likes when people read on a podcast. 12 All-Stars will compete in this skills competition. They'll each perform in 4 of the first 6 events and accumulate as many points as possible. And then those winners will advance to some other competitions. And then those winners will win, or the one winner will win $1 million. So there's more to it than that, but
and it all culminates in something they call Squid Game, which we don't have here in the States, but it's a game that in Korea, a lot of kids played growing up, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, no shame in reading on the podcast today. I read basically an entire Penn State study on how to prevent your child from becoming an iPad kid because we were talking about the Blackhawks.
How long is that study? How long is that study besides don't give them an iPad?
It was pretty long. But I mean, I don't know if you guys were probably... No, it was in Edmonton, so you were probably watching on ESPN, like the Luke Richardson thing of he's limiting the screen time with Bedard. We went all the way in on that. We were reading all sorts of reports. We don't want Bedard to become an iPad kid. Anyway, I can't. I'm going to watch it because part of me not caring about the All-Star Game stuff is trying to find out if I care about this iteration. And generally, a lot of people are excited, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm happy that did it for you. It didn't really do it for me. You are right. There is like an air of like, do the guys even want to do it? Is it like kind of like the dunk contest in the NBA became, where it was like, well, if you're really good, you shouldn't want to be in the dunk contest. That's for the kids or whatever.
Gimmicky.
Yeah, but I also wouldn't mind a thing. I also wouldn't mind stuff if they just did stuff with the kid. Like the rookie class that exists this year is so fantastic that if they were like Bedard, Cooley, like get all those kids there and just had them race and shit, I'd be into that a little.
Yeah, I mean the Blackhawks, their first intermission entertainment is the Junior Hawks relay. I mean, just have all the kids do that, and then you do obstacle courses, you jump over hockey sticks.
Love that.
You do some stick handling, then you do a Superman dive underneath some boxes, and then at the end you get 2 goalies to do the race. Like it's some nights it's my most favorite moment of a Blackhawks game.
Sean and I were saying we were at Bruins Sabres game last week, and they were doing the kids playing and the intermission, and we were saying that somebody should do that with like men's league. Just get like a bunch of adults who suck it, because instead of being like, hey, let's get some kids who are fucking terrible at hockey, God bless them, let's get some adults who have the same level of skill as these adorable kids. They're just not adorable.
See, that's awesome. And you allow them, you do it in a second intermission, you let them get a little buzzed, before they hit the ice.
And I'd have the same reaction watching, where I'd be like, "Oh, one of them got the puck. Go, go, go! Oh, he's gonna get tuckered out. He fell down. Okay, But yeah, just like a bunch of like, I don't know, started to learn to skate at 35 plus. That would be, I think, really charming.
I'm in. I'm in on that for sure.
Well, and I think, you know, we kind of got in. I don't want to say he completely rolled his eyes at being an all-star, but last year Seth Jones was named an all-star for the Blackhawks because every team gets representation. And he, I can't remember the exact quote, but I remember when, you know, we talked to him after him being named an all-star. It was something like, well, I had, you know, planned to go back to my, you know, hometown in Texas for the week, but I guess those plans are going to change. Like, I feel like a lot of the players would rather just have the week off, go take a vacation, and then come back, you know, with a little bit of, you know, steam blown off, or just, you know, get their bodies back right. But for some of these guys, it's like they don't get this vacation. They get to, you know, sure, they go on a vacation, they get to, you know, go to the All-Star game weekend, but you're still obligated to do a bunch of stuff, where some of them would rather just go home, be with their families, or go, you know, to Cancun for a week or something.
And I mean, in the case of Jones last year, it's not, it's almost a chore, because, and it's a reminder that like your bad season, and by your, I guess I mean like the Royal your, or the, like your team's bad season, you're not even getting a break from that, because you have to go, like when you're not maybe playing your hottest hockey, you still have to go to this thing because your team is so bad that they have to send somebody.
Right.
And you're a good player, you're a nice guy, so how about you do it? That doesn't feel like the, I don't know, the 21 or 22-year-old who's getting to their first All-Star game and they really feel like they're kind of coming up in the league. That's exciting. So I could see how, depending on what your situation is, how good your team is, the All-Star game is either a great time or a bleak affair.
Yeah, I don't think Seth Jones will have to worry about getting the nod for the Blackhawks this year. It's pretty obvious who they're going to send. Yes, it's going to
Alex
be
Vlasic, as we covered. Yeah,
it's going to be the Tyler Johnson revenge tour. But I like the idea of like the same guy, 12 guys competing against you, because I always enjoyed the skills competition. I never cared much for the game itself. I always liked the night before better than the actual All-Star game, especially recently. I kind of like the idea that you're going to get 12 guys competing against each other, the same 12 guys all night. I'm just worried that they're going to NHL this and not pick the right 12 guys. Like, it's pretty obvious like who the best 12 guys should be, the most marketable guys, and I'm just worried that they're gonna screw that up and put some guys out there where you're like, why?
Yeah.
Like you can't pull teeth from 12 guys to try and make it entertaining.
And do you think that they would do two guys from the same team? Or
I wouldn't
probably
think
no
so,
way,
but you might. It's in Toronto, and you've got 3 Toronto Maple Leafs who all kind of would be fun in that competition. But no, I mean, you got 12 guys. You've got
no Leafs.
I'm for that, but
just in general,
yeah,
no Leafs. Because no, I was more thinking like, how many Oilers are we getting there? Like we're getting McDavid, we're getting Draisaitl. Zach Hyman though is like one of the best goal scorers in the league this year, even though all of his goals, as you saw last night, his goals are like hold your stick, and McDavid will pass it off your stick and into the net. But whatever, it counts.
It's simple.
He's made
an
entire career out of doing that. That's what he did in Toronto. That's what he's doing in Edmonton. God bless him. I mean,
I love Zach Hyman. I sent one of my jerseys, one of my Oilers jerseys. I do have multiple. I'm an Oil man, to get customized with Hyman on it. I'm quite excited.
Yeah,
it's my guy.
But I'm just worried. Like to me, the logical move, which means it won't happen, is if you've got 12 guys, you have 4 divisions. You pick 3 guys from each division. So you pick like the best 3 guys from each division, you know, and let them go and see what happens.
But man, that would suck in the like the Pacific, where there's so like you got the reigning Cup champions, so you're gonna want to have good representation there. Truly, like maybe you guys don't want to hear it after last night, but like the Oilers are such a party right now. They're always a party, but like sometimes they're like the party that where like someone died, and sometimes they're like the party that they're like a pizza party. And right now they're a pizza party, which is amazing. So I want as much shine on the exciting parts of this season to be represented at the All-Star game. And that's basically Connor Bedard, a bunch of Oilers, Michael Andlauer giving incredible press conferences. That is what I want.
Anybody
I
with
want
the last name
Senators
Hughes,
owner to be at the All-Star game. I want him to be competing.
he could be the judge of like the shootout
Yeah.
competition.
And he'd be like, I don't know why. His whole thing would just be like, I don't know why I don't know why this is my problem. Why I have to pick who's doing it the best. I came into this thing thinking that I was just going to do this, and then this is what they force upon me. Somebody must be fired for this. I love that guy. I'm crazy about him.
Hockey needs more dudes like that for sure.
Yeah, he's the Tim Heidecker, I didn't rig shit guy. Not Tim Heidecker, Tim Robinson.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you have to. The NHL path of this would be 3 people from each division and blah blah blah. The best route is take the guys who are legitimately all-stars and are going to be there, and then your 12 most entertaining guys. Like you put the Kachuk brothers there, you put McDavid and Draisaitl in there and put them against each other. You put Bedard in there as the kid, trying to mix things up. Like I just think it's the entertainment value has to be a consideration. And sorry if you get 6 people from the West or from the Pacific, and 5 from the East, and then it's Bedard. Like if that's how it shakes out, that's how it should shake out. Like that, you need to put your most marketable players forward in this position. And like if you're gonna mic people up, like they had Bedard mic'd up last night. What a waste of time. Like what are you expecting to get from him other than the fact that you said you mic'd up Bedard? Like you're not going to get anything exciting.
He was very good with us. He was a real mouthful.
Yeah, I know.
Put him up. He was every other word. We were like,
no, absolutely.
Shut up. Yeah.
But you got to get them all in the right settings. Like miking up Bedard for a game is useless because he's just going. It's just going to be him talking strategy and yelling obscenities at himself because he didn't score 6 goals instead of 5 goals.
But that's the same thing as McDavid.
Yeah, but I think if you get like you put them together, like I'm sure at this summer's BioSteel camp, like they had some interesting conversations.
Yeah,
but like in a game setting, it's different.
So then, Mario, so you fall more on the side of deserves kind of got nothing to do with it, because I sort of feel that way too. Like I want Tage Thompson in this thing, and people are going to be like, why is there a fucking saber out there? But like Tage Thompson, when he's on the ice, you can't take your eyes off him. He looks like a lion that hasn't grown into his skin yet. It's just a really perplexing aesthetic, and he's fantastic. So I want Tage Thompson there. Give me the more exciting ones.
If you think about like how all-star games, Pro Bowls, whatever, they're entertaining when you highlight the right players. Like just because someone's the highest scoring guy doesn't mean he has any entertainment value in an all-star game setting. So I think you have to have that entertainment value, because the NHL does a horrible job at highlighting personalities and entertainment value. And then sometimes when they stumble upon a great quote or a great scene where like last night you had Krachekov and Brady Tkachuk almost getting in a fight after he goes aggressive goalie. Like that should have been a highlight like all over the league, but instead you got dumb conversations about, oh well, Kachukov should get run right after that happens. Like no, like I just think the entertainment value has to be in this setting the highlight. It doesn't have to be someone's the league leader in scoring, but they have no personality. Like I want to see personality. I want to see the Hughes brothers and the Kachuk brothers going after each other like brothers do. Like that's what I would want to see to be the entertainment value aspect of things.
I also think too, like the league is too worried about like having a representative from every team. I don't care. I watch Seth Jones play 82 games a year. I'm not going to I got to go watch Seth Jones play the All-Star game. I'm thinking of my All-Star memories, right? Owen Nolan scores was it Hasek in goal? He points at him and scores. He was a Shark. Okay. Guess what? It was still cool, right? Sean Taylor kills the kicker or the punter in the Pro Bowl. Awesome moment. I was not a Washington football team fan at that time. I'm still not. Like it's about highlighting the best and most exciting players. Don't worry about, is it balanced east to west, the biggest rivalry in sports? Is it balanced divisionally? It doesn't matter. Get me the 12 best for the skills competition. Get me the 46 best for the All-Star game, and let's go. I don't care if I know Bedard's going to make it, but you know what I mean? It should not matter. That's how you water it down.
Yeah, I think so. Like nobody in the All-Star game should feel like a charity case. They don't want to feel like, and they don't want to feel like one to be like, oh, well, your team's bad and someone's got to be there, so we'll bring you here. And honestly, it's why I hated the idea of them doing the World Cup of Hockey and only having it be, what was it, like North America and then Finland and a couple of other countries. I'm like, it does
Finland,
not make
Sweden,
sense.
US, Canada.
Right. It does not make sense if an okay American player on the Oilers gets back from that break and Leon Draisaitl is like, hey, how was the World Cup thing? I didn't get to go because I'm from Germany. Like that tournament can't be taken seriously. So give me the flashiest, most exciting, and make them really work for that million.
Yeah. All right, DJ, we've taken enough of your time with our stupidity. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for being with us.
I just thought of an idea for some entertainment.
Yes.
Add a 13th guy. It's Brad Marchand. You give him a microphone. He doesn't participate in any competition. He just stands there and talks shit to everybody.
He just roast people.
Amazing. You know what, though?
Yeah.
He is so like on top of his game mentally that he probably wouldn't say a word the whole time. He would just look at people and they'd be fucking waiting. It's like in How I Met Your Mother where they have the slap bet and he's waiting to get slapped. And the fact that he hasn't been slapped yet is like the most treacherous thing. If you say like, okay, Marchand's mic'd up and he's really going to roast you, people would skate around terrified. I mean, they normally do when Marchand's there anyway, in fairness.
Yeah. You could also have Ryan Reeves with a mic saying things he's going to do. Just trust him. Like, I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
If only I was on the ice, I would have gotten you.
When I was on the ice after. Yeah.
All right, DJ. Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll talk to one of you guys next week. Yeah, please. Go Hawks. That's for sure.
Always.
All right. Follow the What Chaos Show, YouTube, your favorite podcast app, all that great stuff. They do great work. It has quickly ascended into my second favorite podcast after this one, but it's can't miss. 4 days a week. Part of the ALLCITY network. That's why we talk to them every week. We're happy to have them aboard. It's good stuff.
Awesome stuff. Love talking with those guys.
You know what else is good stuff?
What?
Our partners at Ray Chevrolet. And they're having their biggest sale of the year right now. Make your way to Ray Chevrolet on Route 12 in Fox Lake to join in on the savings for their model year-end sales event. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. But right now, they're trying to make room for the incoming 2024 models, so their current inventory must go. Plus, you can find the perfect tailgate vehicle at Ray Chevy because they have over 100 new Silverados in stock. And that's not all. Get 0% financing with $0 down and 0 payments until the spring of 2024. Or save over $3,000 on a new Chevy Blazer, $4,000 on an Equinox, or over $10,000 on a Silverado. That's lots of thousands of dollars you're saving. And to top it all off, they're pricing over 125 vehicles under $20,000. Seriously, guys, can pricing get more affordable? And I know everybody loves the word free, and that's what you'll get this month at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake, a free oil change. All you need to do is mention CHGO when scheduling your oil change online or on the phone. You better hurry. This exclusive offer ends December 31st. Visit Ray Chevrolet in person in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com to get your model year-end savings. They've been serving the community since 1963. Find new roads.
And with all the money you saved, you could fill up your account at DraftKings. Bet all the action on the ice with DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm looking at the app right now, and they've always got these like custom same-game parlays up here. So you got Boston at New Jersey. Let's do this in honor of DJ, big Bruins fan. Here is a plus 1146 parlay. All right. David Pastrnak over 4.5 shots. David Pastrnak to score a goal and the Bruins to win over the Devils. That is plus 1146 at DraftKings. That sounds fun. Go jump on that one. Even if you don't like the Bruins, it's fun to root for Pastrnak. He's a good player, good dude. So jump on that one. Those are big odds and seems, doesn't seem like the most unlikely outcome. So check it out. Download the app now and use the code CHGO. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on hockey. That's code CHGO only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. We told you that already. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2023, all rights reserved. Woo.
The Shield.
That is a mouthful.
That is.
Holy Lord. Oh, hey. And
you did it.
I did do it. And before I forget, we have a watch party coming up. Hawks and Avalanche, December 19th. That is a week from yesterday. So Tuesday the 19th.
We're going to be watch party.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Broken Barrel Bar, 2548 North Southport with our friends at Goose Island. You can go to allchgo.com to check out all the details there. Just go to our events page. You can RSVP. It is free, but you can RSVP just so we can get a little bit of a head count to know what to prepare for. AllCHGO.com. Watch party with Goose Island at Broken Barrel Bar, 2548 North Southport. That is Tuesday, December 19th at 6:30, and we should be doing a live postgame show then as well. And we know how well the game went the last time the Hawks and Avs got together, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah. And, we're, 2-0 with takeovers and 1-0 with watch parties. It's shaping up for a potential good night. So it'll be a good time.
It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I've not been to Broken Barrel in a minute. I'm looking forward to getting back there.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while, but it's a good place. It's a good space. Always a good time. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a good game, I think. But it'll be nice to it'll be nice to have like to watch a game that'll be the home game atmosphere, because like we don't get to do that all that often anymore, and when we do, it's for the third period, so that'll be a fun experience, even just personally, to be like, hey, we're watching a home game, like this is what it sounds like when they score, maybe on TV in a home setting again. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Should be fun. All right, Steven, I know we've been hot and heavy with DJ as always. Do we have any super chats we need to get to, or any comments we need to address before we move on here?
We do not. Please send the super chats, though. I'll be sure to put them on screen if you do.
No super chats. Jeez. I know somebody was asking about Greg's sweatshirt. I think it needs to be explained, Greg, because for the old folks in the chat that don't know, Run to Jewels.
Run to the Jewels.
It's a play on the hip hop group Run the Jewels. See, there's the chopping bags. There you go. Yeah, Run to the Jewels. Not
Greg, did I see your dog for a brief moment there?
What's that?
Did I see your dog for a brief moment?
Yeah, every time I start chatting on one of our remote shows, he fears that he's missing out and he needs to. He was growling at me for a good 20 minutes before I picked him up, and now he's sleeping peacefully.
Would a super chat Oh, I was gonna say, would a super chat get your pug on screen, but I don't know if we want to wake him up.
Yeah, you don't wake a
Oh,
sleeping
no,
baby.
hey, listen, he's woken up for less than that, so I'll put him on for the rest of the show for a $10 super chat.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
I like that.
Works.
All right, fellas, we are at the unofficial, like 1/3 mark of the season. Do we want to try to go through who we think might be some of the award winners this year in terms of like MVP, Norris, Vezina, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, at least, or maybe not predict who's going to win it, but who would have it right now, maybe, because that's different than like trying to figure out who's going to get it at the end of the year. Though there'll probably be a lot of the same dudes.
Yeah, I would think so. Like I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the leaders here and like a lot of the categories, and there's not a lot of people that you're saying, wow, that's kind of crazy. Can't really see that happening. And let's start with the Norris, because what's so funny about the Norris is I think a lot of us, like 2 years ago when Colorado won the cup, we're all like, well, Cale Makar is going to be one of these guys that just runs away with the Norris every year for 5 or 6 years, and hasn't really been the case. Quinn Hughes is absolutely just on fire right now. He's got 39 points. We saw last night that he became, what was he, the second or third leading defensive scorer in Canucks history already?
Yeah.
Like something ridiculous. Like, holy
He leads
cow.
the NHL in assists right now. With 30.
I mean, that's insane. Look, Makar's right there. Makar's got 28 assists and 8 goals. Hughes has 9 goals and 30 assists. So they're right next to each other. But it's so funny, like everyone's like, oh, you know, Makar's not really having the same kind of year. Yes, he is. But Quinn Hughes has just been that damn good. It's he's remarkable.
My favorite Quinn Hughes
going on there.
My favorite Quinn Hughes stat when looking up stats this morning, he's been on the ice for an NHL high 65 goals for his team this year.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's impressive.
The Blackhawks even scored 65 goals this year, let alone with one guy on the ice.
Honestly, I'm looking right now. The Hawks have 66 goals on the year.
There you go.
And Quinn Hughes has been on the goal for 65 by himself. Like, that's insane.
The other thing too about the Canucks is, and I know like they definitely came out of nowhere this year. They're 19-9-1. Their goal differential is plus 37. The next closest team is plus 32. And guess what? It's Vegas and LA, all teams in the Pacific Division. And the Canucks, like, I didn't want to think this was going to last, but here we are 30 games into the year, and they're rolling, man. They're solid as hell.
Yeah, I mean, you got Thatcher Demko playing spectacularly. So that's a huge factor in their goal differential being high. But I mean, you also got, Elias Pettersson leading the way. You got Quinn Hughes leading the way. You got Brock Besser and Connor Garland, like, no longer being thought of as like, hey, we need to trade these guys. Like, no, they're key contributors to your team. So like everything that was like the big question marks for Vancouver, they're all clicking at the same time, which is like perfect for them. So yeah, I mean, hey, it's good on you. I think Vancouver was this team that was like, for even last year and the year before, it was like, these guys should be better than they're doing. And now they're kind of all at the same time, hitting those strides. So it's, I mean, from an outsider perspective, it's fun to see a team playing that well that you didn't expect to play that well.
Well, and you not only do you have, Hughes making he's been great for a long time, don't get me wrong, but just solidifying that. And you got Brock Besser tied for the league lead in goals with 21 right there with Austin Matthews. Like, yeah, that's that's a formula for success. You got a lot of guys, and Elias Pettersson's right there in scoring. Like, they're just deep and good. JT Miller, second in the league in scoring.
Getting a bunch of guys having career years all at the same time usually means your team's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say so. And yeah, like even in goal, like you mentioned, Mario, Thatcher Demko, he's not at the top of the league, but he's right there with a 2.42 goals against. He's been great. It's, I don't know, that team's for real. Didn't predict that. I know people talking this summer like JT Miller's a contract that they'll never be able to get rid of and they're going to regret forever. And here he is second in the league in points. Like, it's just everything came together at the same time for them. especially when they were kind of looking. We were thinking last year and even heading into the summer, like, yeah, we know Connor Garland wanted to go, right? And he had requested a trade, and he probably pulled that request. But even like Brock Besser was a guy that was talked about like potentially being shopped to clear some cap space or to even kind of start like a rebuild situation there a little bit. And now all of a sudden they don't panic. They don't pull the plug on everything. They don't make all these trades, and the team responds pretty well. They've been great, and they're fun to watch, which is, it's been a while since I've been able to appreciate the Canucks because of the Hawks rivalry. I used to love them when Pavel Bure was there and McGillney was there. But now that the whole Hawks rivalry is completely dead and over, I can kind of watch and enjoy in Vancouver again.
Yeah.
So does that mean Rick Tocchet has the Jack Adams Award wrapped up at this point?
Hey,
I mean,
the award for "We expected you to suck and you're playing well." Yes, I think Rick Tocchet's probably.
I don't know if he's got it wrapped up, because one of my candidates for at least the third of the season for Coach of the Year is Spencer Carberry with the Capitals. How does he have that roster with the corpse of Alex Ovechkin somehow in a playoff spot right now, especially with as bad as they started? And Jay, you and I were at the game the other night, and we're looking at these, and we're like, who the hell are these guys? I don't think that's going to last. They're going to slip out, but the Devils are going to make their run. The Hurricanes are going to make their run and get back in there. But still, I mean, what he's done with, the one guy on the roster that everybody wants to see is a shell of himself right now, and he's got that team right in the thick of a playoff run. I mean, that's impressive.
I don't believe in them at all. I don't
either, but
yeah, they're -8 in goal differential.
These are for the third of the season. For the first third of the season, he might be the best coach.
I mean, look, you can't. You're getting something out of nothing. Like the problem with Vancouver before, which is why maybe it hurts Tocchet a little bit. But I think if Tocchet's a nominee, they're going to give it to him because he's a big name. People know him.
It's Canada.
Yeah, it's exactly. But like with Vancouver in years past, it was, what is wrong with this team? Like they're not playing as well as they should.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with Capitals, it's like this team's going to blow. It's going to be all about getting Ovechkin goals, and it's really been the opposite this year.
Yeah, I think the Hart Trophy is a very interesting one too. Like obviously, to me, Connor McDavid is the most valuable player in this league, because when he was hurt and then he rushed back and wasn't playing at 100%, the Oilers fired their coach, and now he's healthy and he's playing a different game than everybody else. But I also don't rule out Nikita Kucherov and what he's somehow quietly doing in Tampa Bay, leading the league in points and single-handedly keeping that team alive in the playoff race.
He's got 47 points. He has a 5-point lead on the next closest scorer, which is JT Miller.
Yeah.
That's insane. Again,
it's impressive.
The Hawks have 66 goals. He has 47 points.
Yeah. I mean, and when you look at what Tampa had to do to just kind of stay afloat until Andrei Vasilevsky got back, like they had to rely on their offensive prowess, and Kucherov was the guy leading the way and got them through that point to where you could get Vasilevsky back. You can kind of get your roster back to that, like, all right, this is the contender team that we're still expecting them to be. So I mean, to have that wide of a gap in points above everybody else, like you said, 5 points ahead of second place JT Miller, 8 points ahead of the four guys tied in second place with 39 points. Like I know there's the Art Ross for most points is its own award, and it doesn't always have to translate to most valuable. But when you get scoring gaps like that, it almost is like silly to think otherwise.
Yeah. And that was another team that a lot of people thought was going to kind of fall off a little bit this year. But yeah, your point of, you look at Edmonton and you've got McDavid right there and Draisaitl right there. And you look at, you've got a lot of tandems up at the top of the league in scoring. And with Tampa, it is Kucherov and that's it, Why don't we take a break and we come back? We'll do a couple of the other ones that we need to do.
Sure.
Yeah, but first we're going to tell you about Game Time.
Yes, Game Time. That is where you need to go if you want to see any one of these great teams we're talking about when they come to town. I know buying tickets on the secondary market could be a little bit of a frustrating experience. You think you got yourself this great seat, and all of a sudden, all the extra prices and fees come tacked on. All of a sudden, your $30 ticket is now a $300 ticket. Well, you don't have to worry when you're buying tickets for your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Basically, if you buy a ticket on Game Time for, say, Blackhawks versus the Canucks coming up here in a few days, and then you go to another one of these sites and you see that same section tickets cheaper, let them know, and they're going to refund your money and match that price. So there's no risk when you shop. They have the last minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, easy to find and buy tickets for any kind of event in your area. Plus, you can get a view of your seat in all the venues, so you know exactly what you're going to be able to be able to see from your venue, whether you're going for a hockey game, a basketball game, a concert. There's also event cancellation protection and job loss protection. There is no risk when you shop at Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
And there, just as Game Time is making it easier to get tickets, ComEd, it's making it easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles. That's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being of all of us who share it.
Yeah, that electric grid, it's ever evolving to meet our cleaner energy needs. And as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow, whether you have one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, like I know you do, Jay,
I do.
ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
Mario, what should business owners do?
Well, if you're a business owner, you better go to comed.com/clean to learn more about these resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. And if you own a business, do not wait. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to comed.com/clean.
Is that ComEd.com/clean?
ComEd.com/clean, Jay. Yeah, go there now. See how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come.
All right. That was
that.
Aggressive, but I'm just going to do it because I'm scared now.
I'm so passionate about the cleanness of your business and the electric grid that's coming to change all of our lives that I want all the people to know about ComEd.
All right.
Next to the Blackhawks, it is the biggest thing I am passionate about in this world.
All right. Fair enough. Jeez, we'll do it. Okay. Relax, bud. All right. What else we got to do? We got to do the Calder. I wonder how that's going to go.
Brock Faber.
It's funny, like with all the hand wringing and like, within the first 3 or 4 games, everyone's already looking at the Calder race and saying like, oh, is Bedard going to win it? He's got a healthy cushion on Luke Hughes. Yeah.
Anyone saying anything otherwise is looking for a reaction.
Yeah. It's not going to be Marco Rossi.
Simply put,
it's not going to be Logan Cooley, world's greatest prospect. It's not going to be any of those guys. Yeah, I had the rookies points up a second ago, and I've lost it.
Bedard's got 24. The next rookie doesn't have 20.
Yeah, it's Bedard with 24. Then you have Hughes, Rossi, and Fantilli with 16.
Yeah.
Voronkov and Cooley have 15. Zeri and Evangelista have 14, and Carlson and Brink have 13.
Yeah, and Carlson should be higher because he should just be playing every game, but he's not. But that's not my problem.
I mean, he's got an 8-point lead on the next closest players. Like,
Yeah, and he's doing it with like the Devils, the Wild. Those are better rosters than this roster. Columbus is a better roster. Arizona's a better like he's doing it with the worst roster any of these rookies are on.
he's making Philip Kurashev like close to a point per game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's all you need to know. You can take all your analytics, you can take all your graphs and your globules that you make with these things. Like, look at this and expected goals for. He's making Philip Kurashev a legitimate scoring threat. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's running away with it. And look, like the league was going to give it to him in any sort of close. Like, as long as he was in the conversation, Bedard's going to win it. But he's already blowing people out of the water.
Right.
So yeah, he's got it.
It seems like almost every goal is highlight worthy. Like it's like he's not just getting like, run of the mill NHL goal. Like he's scoring in ways that you're just like, even with the expectation of like everyone that we talked to leading up to the draft was saying like, besides Matthews, he has the best shot. And if even coming in with that expectation, like, yeah, he probably has the second best shot in the league. You're still just like, wow, like the goal last night, like we looked at it, we were talking about it at the office. I was like, it's physically not, it shouldn't physically be possible to shoot the puck like that in the way that his body was positioned and the way his momentum was going. Like he is one of a handful, if that, of players that could be able to do that. And it's not like he's just doing like it's not like he's a one trick pony. Like look at the assist to Murphy the other night. Yeah. Like again, another thing very few players in the NHL on the planet could make that kind of pass with that kind of accuracy. Like it's incredible. So I think the highlight reel of his entire season is going to be it's going to be nuts. And it's already got a number of good ones on it.
Every goalie he faces, the highlights like this. What just happened? What did he score? What just happened?
I jumped into Spencer Carberry's pregame media scrum Sunday ahead of the game with the Caps, and he was asked about Connor Bedard and what he's seen so far, and he said that Connor Bedard has the best shot in the world right now. Like he's already declared, like. And he mentioned the way he changes the angles and the way it comes from anywhere, and he can get it off at any spot of the ice, any positioning his body is in. He said Connor Bedard has the best shot in the world.
Mm-hmm. He's watching number 8 every night. It's got a decent shot himself. So
well, he hasn't since Carberry got there, but yeah, he's seen the highlights.
Yeah, he saw the highlights anyway. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get our super chat from our friend Cricket. She wants to see some dog action, Greg. So
no, she's saying she wants to see Steven.
Well, I can't blame her for that. Steven,
he's got the guns out.
We need an update on your Hinge situation last night. Do you want to share that on the air?
No, I don't want to share that on the air.
If you don't, we're gonna.
A certain NHL player's daughter was on there. That is what we'll say.
Not a current,
former NHL players.
Former NHL player's daughter. Did she? Is there a response?
There is no response. No.
All right, for a $200 super chat, we'll reveal who it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
$200.
There's no chance she's answering it now.
Where's the Duke when you need him?
Exactly. Yeah, he would have it, no problem.
Exactly. The other question. Cricket, but thank you, Cricket, for the super chat. We appreciate that. And the other question I had was for Mario. Before we started the show, you bent over and broke a lot of glass. I didn't break anything. And you said it was the leftover beer bottles from your wedding. I need to know the story on why you had beer bottles from your wedding.
Because so at the time that my wife and I got married, my dad was super into like making his own beer. So one of the things that he wanted to do that was special for the wedding was make special beers, craft beers, for the for the reception and stuff. And then my wife's brother-in-law also was doing that at the time too. So he made one too. So we have commemorative empty bottles. Oh, this one's still got some in it.
Drink it. Drink
Yeah.
it. Drink
Oh, here
it,
you got.
drink
No,
it.
absolutely not. No, you want me to shit my pants on air too?
Yes, for a $300 super chat, Mario will shit his pants on the show.
You're in your own house. We're not in the studio, man. Crap away.
So so we got the Mario and Catherine slap cut
Oh,
shandy. This was an orange shandy,
Ooh.
which I was a big fan of at
Ooh.
the time. Jesus,
That sounds
let's see
good.
here.
All right, I thought you just had like random like High Life and Miller Light bottles that
No,
you just
no.
stole because
You got
they were
the-
from your wedding.
The Wedding Bell Ale. None of these are Goose Island, by the way, so sorry about that. Jesus.
Not yet. We could sell them the recipe.
Oh, this one's full too. Let's see. Oh, this is our dog. So this is the one my my wife's brother-in-law made. It's called Cooper's Ale. So there's our dog Cooper.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was his ale. I don't remember what it was supposed to taste like.
Ale.
And this one. Jesus.
He's gonna
We
shit
got-
his pants.
So we lived in Chicago at the time. So it's Girl on the L Tripel, which is a Tripel beer to be like the L train.
Okay.
So we did that one.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's a lot here.
So,
A whole
you want to see
assortment.
the wine bottles that are down here that my wife got?
We should
printed
save that for
for-
next time
Yeah.
to make sure
This.
we.
For next week.
Oh, this
do
was for
Wino
my-
Wednesday.
This was for my birthday, I think it was. This was what was this? A red wine, a Chianti. This is my 8th grade graduation photo. So there's that on a wine bottle.
Nice. Big
Um,
pimpin'.
Jeez.
Michael says he's got a big bonus coming. Don't tempt him with a $300 super chat.
Why did it look like you went to
Sweet.
8th grade in 1973?
Hey, maybe I did. This is a lot of French words. It's a white wine. This is me. Gosh, what am I? 3 years old, maybe 2 or 3 at the beach. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
show
look
some
at that
skin.
beach bod.
Come
There
on,
you
let's got
go.
the guns out.
And
Guns
this
out,
last
guns
one.
out.
What was this last one? This is what is this? German?
What is that? Velvet?
It's a white mix. This is just me down by Lake Michigan a couple of years ago. So
Nice. There you go. Well,
Yeah,
there you
so
go. See,
that's-
now we know.
yeah, when I moved my desk to get into frame, this is what you heard.
Yes, that's
And
how the-
everyone was concerned.
Anyway, all right. Well, that was fun. We want to thank DJ Bean for being part of the show. We talk to those What Chaos guys every Wednesday, one or both of them. So make sure you check in those shows. And really, if you're a hockey fan, not just a Hawks fan, what I love about that show is it is NHL hockey talk and it's entertaining. It's not a bunch of numbers. It's not a bunch of rehearsed like hockey speak. It is two hockey fans having fun talking about hockey. They talked to Jeff Skinner last night from the Sabres. And I don't think they spoke about hockey like for 2 seconds. It was
He was
great.
yeah.
They're really doing a good job of, since the league can't do it, the What Chaos podcast is doing a great job of showing the personality of these guys around the league. So make sure you check that out. All right, tomorrow, Hawks play Seattle at 9. We got an 8:30 pregame, another late night postgame. So make sure you're there with us. We'd appreciate that. And before we got to let you go, we got to tell you about our buddy, Charlie, the bacon guy.
Yeah, Charlie. He's great with the bacon.
Yes.
And he's got all your bacon needs covered. And you know, if you don't believe me, you can ask him yourself. He's usually in our chat. Charlie is based out of Woodridge, Illinois, and makes craft bacon and bacon jams in over 30 different flavors. The bacon and the bacon jams are all made naturally cured with a fancy preservative-free recipes. There aren't any ingredients that Charlie himself cannot pronounce involved in the process. Unlike most store-bought bacons, it is vacuum sealed and freezes up great. It lasts in the package up to 45 days in the fridge and 6 months in the freezer. Bacon jams last about 60 days in the fridge, usually about 20 seconds. When it gets into my house, you just pop that lid open, big old scoop of bacon jam. See ya. And 6 months in the freezer if you're one of those weirdos that freezes bacon for 6 months. Some of the flavors that Charlie has done and will do for you: maple pepper, Nashville hot, French toast bacon, like amazing. Like any brunch that you want to take to the next level, French toast bacon from Charlie is going to be able to do that. Jalapeno garlic, jardiniere bacon, the Malort bacon is also available for those who want to do that. He will do it for you. You got bacon jams as well. bourbon spicy peach bacon jam. What's really cool is you can go to Charlie's website and he has the bacon inventory, or what is it called? The bacon help me out here, Jay. Archive. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. So you can see all the different bacon flavors and jam flavors that he's done in the past. And if you want one that is currently not in stock, if you order enough of it, he will make it specially for you. The bacon goes perfectly on anything. You could put bacon on anything and it's going to taste great. If you put Charlie's bacon on anything, again, you talk about next level, that will take it there. So you could pick up bacon the most efficient way yourself, or he'll deliver to you. He'll meet you halfway, or he can ship it as well. He makes the bacon so you can bring it home. And starting now until the end of the week, December 15th, you can save 10% off of your order at charliethebaconguy.com when you use the promo code CHGO10. Again, that's the code CHGO10 at charliethebaconguy.com to save 10% off of your order from now until the end of the week, Friday, December 15th. Get your orders in. Use the code to save.
Do that. All right, we're going to wrap it up. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And reminder, we're powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at ComEd.com/clean. We'll talk to you 8:30 pregame before Hawks and Kraken on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.